Welcome.
Welcome to Double Coverage.
Your weekly podcast for sports all year round. From the college football playoff starting in January to the winter meetings in baseball in December, we've got you covered.
Starting in
3, 2, 1.
All right, you guys, welcome to Double Coverage. My name's Austin Hartsfield.
I'm Matthew Hoffman.
First things first, this whole Dallas Mavericks organization scandal that has come out has been a big thing for me, and I feel like I need to address it. I've never been really more devastated to read news like that. I got through like half of the article and I'm about to be in tears. I mean, to have like the curtain pulled back on your organization that you love dearly just killed me. Like decades of sexual abuse, a real like Animal House is what they called it. Like, it's pathetic when the safest place in an organization is the locker room. I don't know how Cuban was involved. I don't know what knowledge he had of it, but if he still loves this organization like I think he does, then he'll fix it. But that's what needs to happen. I mean, we need to restore the name of the organization and make it a safe place to work for women.
It has to be addressed.
Yeah.
I don't know how far up it goes, like you're saying with Cuban.
It has to be addressed. It's asinine that the safest place for women in the entire organization is somewhere that, honestly, they're only there for interviews.
Yeah, it's a place that they really shouldn't
be.
Yeah.
It's the locker room. But I just wanted to address that. Just wanted to say that first. Organization that I love, extremely disappointed, extremely devastated, and I needed to get fixed.
Especially with the women's movement in basketball, like that's what you're going for, and now you're making it unsafe, possibly.
Women's movement in sports, honestly.
Exactly. It's a huge blow to it.
Anyway, now that we've got past that, let's talk about All-Star Weekend. Opinions on the new format? Did you like it? Did you prefer it?
So, All-Star Weekend as a whole, to me, was much more entertaining this year with the draft.
Right.
Personally, something that James Harden put out, and I really liked it, and I think it'd be super cool to do. They said they're not something that they could do is make the draft live, which they've talked about. Basically, said they're going to do.
They should have done that this weekend.
Exactly.
This time anyway.
But having the draft the day of the game.
That way, there's no preparation or anything.
Yeah,
so
that's why it's just.
It's the world's biggest pickup game.
Yeah, basically, and I thought it'd be super cool. Like have the draft right before, maybe like 3 hours
on the court, honestly. Like,
yeah. I mean, they could do it right then and there. 3-4 hours before.
That way they get jerseys at least.
Yeah, but do it and then just go out there and kill it. Because I mean, in past years, it was just
scoring.
Yeah, scoring, lobbing. Which there was scoring this year, but there was definitely much more of a game to be played instead of just lob it up.
Yeah, and a lot of them were just like people like Russell going out there trying to win an MVP award.
Yeah. I think that's cool. I think there should be more of a push to be the MVP, like more.
Yeah.
Maybe that there's something.
Well, that at least makes it competitive.
Yeah. So these guys are out there, trying a little harder. So I really like this All-Star Weekend. I thought the teams were good, even with some of the injuries and stuff. But
I like the fact that they were as bad as Steph's team looked on paper, right? The fact that they came out there and they still competed, and it was actually really close.
I thought they were going to get stomped.
Yeah. Well,
stomped.
I thought for some reason in my mind, I thought that they were going to win. But, I mean, they came close. They tried.
What do you think about LeBron's starting five?
I mean, it's going towards what it's going to anyway.
Yeah.
Positionless basketball.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome to watch. I really enjoyed it.
Next up, 3-point contest. Do you have anything to say on it? I mean,
not too much. Pretty cool. Devin Booker's at the record. Eric Gordon underwhelmed me, but it was good to see him finally getting a shot back. The last probably 3 weeks or so, he hasn't been shooting worth crap, honestly. But it was nice to see him get a stroke back. Hopefully that carries over into the season post All-Star break.
It's pretty cool. I think it'll be even cooler next year when Steph's back in it again. It's cool to have at least two Splash Brothers in it, Even as not as phenomenal as Clay was this year, but honestly, they're two of the best three-point shooters that we've ever seen. So Steph Curry adds a whole new dimension to it. Dunk contest, my favorite part of All-Star Weekend. Well, part of it. Got to watch my boy Dennis Smith Jr. do some crazy dunks. He was a little salty on Twitter afterwards.
I saw
Pretty
that.
funny. But, I mean, I want to know what he would have done for his final dunk had he gotten the chance to do it. You know, because, I mean, it was entertaining for me,
Yeah.
if nothing else. But what's your opinion?
I have the total opposite view as you. I hated the dunk contest. I have hated it for a few years now. This year, I specifically hate it for a different reason. I think in past years, it has been very gimmicky.
Right. Very drone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Aaron
Very
Gordon.
drone. Yeah. Yeah. So I was actually looking forward because the people in the field this year, I thought were maybe bring something different. I thought that this was the most actually unoriginal dunk contest ever, which everyone says I'm crazy to think that, but I mean, literally, you have Larry Nance doing Larry Nance senior things.
Yeah.
You have Donovan Mitchell doing
Vince Carter
Carter things.
Well, and the only person that did anything basically without a prop was Dennis.
Yeah, and that's
what the dunk contest should be. It should be how high you can get up and what you can do while you're in the air.
Yeah.
That is bad as that people want to hear that. That's the moral of the dunk contest.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I hate the dunk contest. I basically I don't think there's anything that anybody can do that can make me go wow anymore. So it's like, just get rid of it. I mean, people love the dunk contest, but I honestly don't know why. And maybe that's just me being a fan of
actual basketball
that I just hate the dunk contest, or I feel like it's not very challenging. I can't do it. I'm a short white guy.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. The 3-point contest, love it.
Yeah, because it's based on actual shooting. It's
things you have to work and practice on. Like I said, I've never dunked before, so maybe it's a lot harder than it looks, but I don't know. I mean, to contort your body the way that some of them do, I mean, yeah, it's impressive, but I haven't seen anything that I haven't seen.
Well, and as biased as this sounds, like, Dennis did it without props is my thing.
Yeah, because who did the Black Panther man?
Victor Oladipo.
Victor Oladipo.
It was just a dunk with a mask on.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. I thought he was actually going to do something that was going to really surprise me.
Right.
I think his dunks this season throughout the games were much better than the dunk contest.
Him and Russell Westbrook, the best in-game dunkers.
Yeah. I mean, I love Victor Oladipo's. If you look at his dunk highlight reel from the year, that should win the dunk contest. But that's my thought on that.
Unfortunately, it's only enough to get him there, and it becomes all such a gimmick once they get there. Moving on from basketball, because there's really nothing else to talk about, considering that since the last podcast there hasn't been a game.
Right.
We could talk about, season predictions again if you want, unless they're just the same.
For
the NBA.
Well, I for sure am even more like I said, if Eric Gordon get his stroke back, I have even better feel for the Rockets. They've gotten healthy over this break. Ariza's back. Ryan Anderson has time to heal his back. And I don't know, man. I just think as many great teams as there are this year, there's still just two that are above them all, and it's going to be Golden State and Houston, and I'm ready for the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, because that's what it's going to be at the end of the day. No, the best thing about a best-of-7 series is the best team always comes out of it. Yeah. Always. The big example that people can always give is, the 2011 Finals. The Mavericks were the best team there. Mm-hmm. Not the best 3 players. They were the best team that year.
Same thing when San Antonio beat them.
Yeah, multiple times.
Kawhi's rookie year.
Mm-hmm. When he won, and then the year after he won Defensive Player of the Year and just emerged as a star.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much all the NBA news.
Yeah, NBA predictions are pretty weak right now.
Yeah. Let's move on to a touchy subject. For you, at least, probably.
Yeah.
The departure of Brian Cushing from the Houston Texans.
Yeah. So there was a poll done on HoustonTexans.com. It was I think it was through their Twitter, honestly. It gave 4 options. And it was like, how will Brian Cushing be remembered in Houston? One of them was 2009 Rookie of the Year. The second one was bad knees.
Right.
Number 3 was greatest charitable contributor in Houston Texans history.
Well, I think he's already been passed for that.
Well, okay, but from what he's done for over the amount of
Right.
years he's been there, he's still considered for the amount of years he's done. But yeah, J.J. Watt just crushed that. And then 4 was PED use. So I think it was like 2% will remember him as defensive player of the year or rookie of the year. Which honestly, I forgot that he was that. Honestly, I knew he did great his first 2 seasons. I forgot that he was rookie of the year that year. I think 15% we're gonna remember him for bad knees, and like 5% we're gonna remember him for the contributions of charity, and then all the rest, like the 65-70%, was straight PED use. And that was a poll of like 9,000 Texans fans. So it's not like it was just a few certain people. Like that was the overarching consensus of the group, which I always will remember Ryan Cushing as tough, like tough guy. I mean, it was reported that now at the end of his career, he went through 20 surgeries in the amount of time he was there. Of course, they don't tell you about them all during the season because they don't want other teams to know about them, spot them out or any, poor Brian, But to have 20 surgeries in your career, to continue to play, and every single game he played for the Texans, he was a starter and a captain. I mean, never once did he come off the bench. I don't know. I thought it was like it was time for him to go.
It was very sudden.
Yeah, I thought that they were gonna go into camp with him and then cut him, but money wise, it makes sense to. Right now for free agency, it's like $7.14 million is what they're gonna get for him. That's gonna get them right around $70 million in cap space, which is a lot. We can do a lot with that, especially with the team we have, with the people coming back, without the draft that we're gonna have this year. It's gonna be big, and it's time for him to go. I hope that he has not completely said if he's going to go to another team yet or if he's just going to retire. I kind of hope he goes and plays somewhere else maybe. But
that's what Dwight Freeney did for us, basically.
But he basically had a automatic spot in the Texans' Ring of Honor, and he probably blew it with his last PED suspension, which sucks. He'll always be remembered as one of my, not necessarily favorite players, but one of my most respected players. For what he did on the field, regardless of his PED usage, but I'll always remember him. Put it that way.
He was somebody that, as a fan of one of the other AFC South teams, he always tried to murder my quarterback, always. And that, at the end of the day, that's what his job is,
Yeah.
And he wasn't
dirty about it.
No, it was legit scary when Cushing was there by himself, much less when Watt was added. Because whether it was Peyton back there, Curtis Painter, Andrew Luck, I mean, if Brian Cushing was 5 feet away from him, you were scared for your quarterback's life. Just because the raw hit power.
And originally when he came in, it was him and D'Amico Ryans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, D'Amico was playing the middle and Brian was outside.
Yep.
And he moved to inside backer. When D'Amico left, D'Amico went to the Eagles, and then that's when Watt got there, and it was pretty scary, man, for a while. They really put the fear in people. But now it's like the thing with Cushing is, if you look at our inside linebackers now, we have Benardrick McKinney, Zach Cunningham, Vince Cunningham. I don't even know. I'm thinking Vanderbilt is where he came from. But Zach Cunningham, and then you got Dylan Cole. And those three, honestly, with their youth and their ability, they're probably top 3, like, inside linebacking core in the league. So it's easily the position with the most depth on our team. People think wide receiver. We have Hop, and then we have a bunch of injured guys. So even though they can, when healthy, they're probably the deepest. But inside linebacker is easily the deepest position on our team, and it's what we need with our lack of secondary right now.
Well, let's go from your team to mine. Andrew Luck now, with his shoulder injury, is now practicing with weighted balls, which sounds a whole lot worse than it actually is. But I guess that means he's recovering. So maybe...
At least we're hearing about it.
Yeah, the fact that we're hearing about it, I don't need to hear him say every week that I don't need another surgery. Because that to me means that, number one, you're thinking about it, and number two, that it's still in the back of your head that you might still need it. But I mean, he's one of the toughest individuals that I've ever seen put a horseshoe on his helmet at the end of the day. So that's really what.
When you talk about the mindset of an injury, that's how I feel right now with Deontay Foreman. He came out and was talking about, I think that when I get healthy, when I'm 100%, I will compete for the starting running back position on the Texans, and which he should. I mean, he's a better pure running back than Lamar Miller. Lamar
Miller's a scat back.
Yeah, he has many different skill sets, but as a number one running back, Foreman's there. But he kept saying, when I'm healthy, when this, and he's like, yeah, it'll be in the back of my head. Well, to me, when it's in the back of your head, you're not running the right way. You're not.
Yeah, you're just waiting to get hit and something happens.
Something. So things like that, kind of like you're saying with Andrew Luck, it's kind of like you don't know until it happens. Until they go out there and do it, you really don't know.
One more bit of Colts news before we move on. Adam Vinatieri closing in on a 1-year deal. So that'll be good to have him back, and then have Rodrigo Sanchez as the punter. So we'll have another really good fourth down unit this year again. So
yeah, I saw that about 2 hours ago that they were closing in on a deal.
So that's pretty good. I mean, Dolphins tag Jarvis Landry. That's the only other bit of news. That's actually a big hit on the free agent market for wide receivers this year.
Yeah. Well, and did you also see, speaking of tags and free agency, did you see what the Jets said?
Yeah, they're willing to give Kirk Cousins $30+ million.
Yeah, they will give him whatever is required. Like
$30+.
What do you think about Kirk Cousins in New York?
I think he'll suffer the same fate as every other New York quarterback in the past 10 years.
You do?
Yeah. Since Mark Sanchez.
But okay, then where's the best spot for Kirk Cousins?
Denver. Easily.
With all the quarterbacks they have there?
Well, yeah, Simeon's on the block. They put Simeon on the block today.
And then you have Osweiler.
Paxton Lynch is a waste.
Paxton Lynch is
a waste. Osweiler's on a mini deal, basically. I mean, after Cleveland bought him out.
Do they have the cap space for him?
Oh, yeah.
Like, can they afford him?
Oh, yeah.
Even with that defense?
Which is because they traded T.J. Ward.
Which is aging. Like, that defense, they have... they almost need... you're right. They almost need Kirk Cousins because in a year and a half... You
can't win a playoff game with Trevor Siemian.
In a year and a half, that defense is too old to compete.
Yeah, because it wasn't...
Look how old Von Miller's going to be. I mean, Von Miller doesn't seem like he's been in the league that long, but I feel like he's been there for about, year 5?
Well, they won the Super Bowl in, 14? 13? Something like that.
Yeah.
Because Andrew was 12 or 11, technically.
What's next?
We could go on to the Olympics.
Oh, yeah, I heard you have a...
Well, let's talk about your Olympics first. What are you thinking so far? Are you enjoying it?
No, I hate the Winter Olympics. Summer Olympics I really get into. I saw today that they're actually thinking about putting snow volleyball in the Olympics. Don't know, but there's going to be exhibition games at the next Olympics to see if it gets put through. I just don't understand the Winter Olympics, man. The people that do the sports that they do in there are crazy athletic.
I have so much respect for them.
Yeah, I mean, they do some amazing things. I just, as an American who lives in Texas, who does not experience these winter conditions.
Maybe we don't have the appreciation for them like we should just because of where we live.
Exactly. Well, not everybody can do what they do also. Like, How much money does it take to do the sports that they do?
I'm sure.
I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It's not like you can just go pick up a golf club or, go...
Golf's one that's even like, what do you call it? Monetary based.
Yeah, it's expensive, but people can do it. Like, you don't have, you go luging, do you, I just have that, I have
you can't just
a
go
run in my
bobsledding,
backyard.
basically.
Yeah, it's just right down the street. I think there's, with the bobsledding, I think there's, only 18 bobsledding tracks in the world?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. Figure skating is cool, super expensive.
Figure skating's cool, and it's really elegant. That's the cool thing about it. But my problem with the Olympics is the American people that latch onto this and act like they've cared about this for so many years.
Like they've been getting ready for it.
Yeah, they've been getting ready for the past 4 years. No, you just latched onto it. Don't act like you were. Don't jump on the bandwagon and act like you've watched this sport for years at a time.
Yeah, everything about every athlete who's in it. That you've been watching them.
It's like it'd be like somebody coming in and watching football with us and telling us oh, this is this person and this is this person. Well, you just looked it up on your phone.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing about the Winter Olympics. I'm sick of the American people over analyzing it. Just watch these people do what they've been wanting to do for 4 years at a time.
Let them bring home gold.
Exactly, and appreciate what they do. And if they fail, just know that nobody's more devastated than they are.
Yeah.
They're not trying that. They're trying to let down their country.
Now see, with the Olympics, I'm gonna pivot that to the World Cup.
Right.
I get super excited for the World Cup because I played soccer as a kid.
Right.
For many, many years. Went to countless big tournaments. Went to a few state championships. I love soccer. I watch it. I know pretty much everything the average fan would need to know about teams all across the world.
Right.
And I know quite a bit about the certain teams that I follow. And when I go to if I went to a different country who all they have was soccer, I think they would view me the same way.
You're right.
But it's a different dynamic, especially for Americans. We cannot do the things that other, Finland, Norway, all they have are these games, basically.
Yeah.
They have these Winter Olympics. They know everything about
Even
those
the Korea's
people. Yeah. So
and this is the biggest thing to happen to them in a long time.
Yeah. So I agree with your take on the Olympics.
I'm just sick of the American people acting like they're just the biggest fans of this thing. All right, so now that we're off the Olympics and I got that off my chest, let's move on to Trae Young.
Who?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Sooners lose 6 straight. Surprised? I'm not. Texas take them down twice this year, and all they really have to do is play zone. That's it.
Trae Young is not a basketball player. He is a shooter. If you look at his body, he is not fit for even college basketball.
We can put the Steph Curry predictions away.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know who
started that, but they're ridiculous. Ridiculous. I've been trying to tell people since day one, shooters shoot, but shooters also get ice cold really quick. And when your shot's ice cold, they don't have to double you. And that's where he was getting his assists was off double teams. When you're averaging 30 points a game, it's easy to have 9 assists because people are doubling you.
When you have 30 points a game but shoot 30 times, it's pretty easy also.
Yep.
But I don't think he is a NBA prospect.
If anything, he's late first round. If anything at all.
Yeah, I think any team who
somebody's gonna reach.
But it's gonna be a joke.
Somebody's gonna reach.
You can just when people compare him to Steph,
they don't have the same body type.
They don't have the same body type. He's not as fluid a shooter.
He doesn't have the dribbling
Steph.
skills.
Yeah, he does not have handles. That's the main point I was getting to. Is his handles are, honestly, not even tournament material in college. The big names that he is above average high school handles to me when I see him out there. But
But again, we can't. I mean, we're not in front of him, so at the end of the day, it's a little different when it comes to us.
Exactly.
We're just people saying what we see.
Yeah. That's what this is. That's what this whole thing is.
Yeah, it's just us getting out our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to talk about on college basketball wise?
Texas Tech lost
Yeah.
to Baylor,
Yeah.
so they're pretty much done for their conference. And they just need to get healthy for tournament time because I think they can make a big run.
You know who's, and this is going to sound extremely biased, but Texas is poised for like a big tournament run.
Mm-hmm.
Between Bamba in the middle, but you have that. Every team that's won something normally has a story. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I told you at the beginning of the year, 4 Texas teams are going to make it to the Sweet 16.
Easy.
I think it's easily still attainable.
Easily still attainable. Even I would even throw Oklahoma State in there at the end of the day. They're not playing bad basketball themselves.
I have not seen them play yet this year.
It's not as good as it used to be. When obviously the Marcus Smarts were there.
Marcus Smart.
Yeah, Marcus Smart.
But so who's your I guess pick, but who do you think has the best shot at
who's
gonna win? Who do you think is gonna win? Not like specifically, here's my projection, this person's gonna win, but who do you think with the best team is going to win?
If they pull it all together, as much as I hate them, Duke is really in a good position just because they have the best starting 5 in the country.
Yeah.
And if Grayson Allen shoots the way he does normally, then they have a really good shot to make a run. But North Carolina also obviously in a great spot.
Yeah.
Playing good basketball. They just got to stop playing bad against the bad teams.
Yeah. So that was my thing. Obviously I root for Duke. It's my team. I think that once tournament time gets there, I think Grayson Allen is going to attract enough attention because he's going to be attacking more. He's going to attract enough attention to open up other people, and then other people are going to get hot. Do I think, once tournament time gets here and the brackets made and everything, is that going to be my pick? Maybe, maybe not. But as of right now, before the tournament starts and everything, looking over everything, if they get healthy, I think they're easily going to put it all together.
We're sitting here saying this, and they're not even the best team in the ACC based on standing wise. Virginia's obviously number 1 in the country, so that helps out a little bit. Texas Tech obviously still sitting at number 6, but that's pre-fall basically. And there's no other teams that just stand out to me and scream, "Hey, look at us!"
Right.
You have your teams like Villanova and Xavier.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there.
Yeah. Which they are every year. And
Every year.
There.
And Zaga's the same way.
Zags.
But
Which I've never really been a fan of Gonzaga, honestly.
no, I haven't either. But I want to thank them for donating a national championship last year. Next topic. Red Sox signed JD Martinez. Could not be more excited.
I saw that.
We finally get the bat that we need. Also re-signed Eduardo Nunez, prying him from the Yankees, which the Yankees turn around and trade for Diamondbacks utility guy, Brandon Drury. Huge pickup for them.
I was wondering. I saw a 3-team trade today. I didn't go in to see who all was involved, but I saw it was the Diamondbacks, the Yankees, and then it was Tampa Bay. Yeah. I saw it.
Because Steven Souza's going to Arizona, which is big help for them. Especially losing JD Martinez, they needed a big-ish bat to replace him because you're just not going to replace that. Brandon Drury, huge for the Yankees as a utility guy. This is going to be great for them as a pickup. And the only thing that I still think the Red Sox are better when it comes down to it, not lineup-wise, but the rotation is just better. You lose Pineda, which
Better than last year?
the rotation.
Yeah.
I think the Red Sox are better than the Yankees.
Okay, you're talking
yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think the I think the Red Sox can beat the Yankees in a
7-game series.
7-game series.
Good news is we have 19 games to figure that out.
Yeah, right. I'm excited for this baseball season.
It's been a
'cause
while.
It starts in
Like 37 days.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's almost exactly 37 days.
Well, because exhibition games start this week, right? Next week.
Next week. All right. You want to do baseball predictions next week? You want to do them this week?
Let's save them. Let's save them for next week when we have our guest coming on.
Yeah, my roommate Ben, huge Red Sox fan, big baseball nerd, big sports nerd actually in general, will actually be on here, and he'll make predictions with us. But other than that, we're pretty much done for the week. Basketball starts back up soon, so that'll be all right.
Yeah, it's another slow week, but it's a good time for us to get started, get accustomed to this, and next week we'll have a guest, and things will start picking up in the sports world. And I'm pretty excited.
I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be able to actually talk about games after they happen, basically.
And free agency starts next week for
Free
football,
agency starts next week for football.
Yeah.
And we'll do predictions for that, basically, too.
Awesome.
All right, y'all. We're done.